The name of the training is Creating Your Daily 7 Habits for Business Success. Yeah. So that you can have all the creative freedom that you want. I truly believe that if we can start with having a strategic framework in place, we can have a lot more freedom to grow our business because you probably, want to have a successful business. We're not doing this just, I mean, we are doing it for fun, but why not, be wildly successful and make some money while we're at it, right? Um, so I come to you with some strategies of how to create a framework so that you can have some structure in your business. And it all starts with a bigger framework that I start with, and it boils down to the daily 7 habits of business success and what you do every single day based on the framework that you've created. So my main framework starts with the 6 pillars that are a constant in our everyday business and are what I build my strategic action plan from. And they start with our mindset, which is a constant that we all have to battle or embrace every single day. And then it moves on to our purpose. What is the purpose and the passion behind the passion that we have, and the purpose for our business, the purpose for making it wildly successful? What is the vision that we have for our business? Where would we like to see it go? And this is fantasy time. This is waving a magic wand, right? Like this is us becoming that amazing, beautiful vision that you want to see in your business. So that's so fun to do, right? And the next part is now we have to develop our clarity. Who are we talking to? What are we talking about? And who are we trying to reach? What are we doing, right? Like, so developing that clarity for both yourself as well as for your clients is super, super important. And then the next thing that we want to make sure we have is a strategy, right? Like, and there's so many different kinds of strategies that we can have out there. And and the beauty of it is that this is a strategy that works best for you in your business, in your life, in your world, what resonates, where you feel most comfortable. So that's how we develop our strategy. And then lastly is the support. Like, who is supporting you? Are you hiring coaches? Are you in a masterminds? Like, and that I believe is one of the single most important parts of all of this, because without our support system, our mindset goes to crap. It's hard to kind of figure out what our purpose is. We Our vision can get diluted. Our clarity for sure can get off track. And then strategy, we can just be information overload and become too overwhelmed. So support, right? Like we all need that. And here we are in this beautiful community with the support of each other, right? So those are the basic pillars of how I start to help my clients build their framework, right? And right now, it's such a great time because we're working on our strategic action plan, which I typically call it a business plan, but it's hard for people to kind of really wrap their brain around a business plan. So I've kind of changed the name of it to a strategic action plan, because it is going to be actual strategy and specifics that we're working on. And what we start with, though, is reflecting on where our business was last year, or years past, or maybe we haven't even we're brand new to this, and that's okay. And what I do is I walk everybody through how to recognize what we do need to be focusing on, and how we do need to be reflecting on or preparing to reflect upon, so that we can see growth in our business, right? So when we have something to look back on, it's awesome, because then we can really see what's working, what's not working. What were the energy drainers? What are the things that affected my business positively and negatively? And then when we reflect, we can celebrate. We can celebrate how far we've come. And and we can learn what maybe things we need to do to tweak for our upcoming year so that we can see the growth that we're hoping to achieve. And then we really dig into building that vision, right? Like, what is that vision that we want to see in our business? Where do we want it to take us this year? And once we start crafting and creating that vision, then we can start really creating that action plan, the specifics of how we're going to take it into the new year, um, or the quarter, or whatever space you're in during that business planning time. Because you know, business planning to me, strategic action planning is super important to do annually, right? And this is something I do every single year in my business. And just so y'all know, I've been an entrepreneur. I guess I should kind of say a little bit about my qualifications. Who the heck is this lady? I I come from a background of marketing and events, and I've had a couple businesses. And the most recent business that I had was I was in real estate for 12 years. Um, these are the systems and strategies that I use to grow my six-figure business. And now I get to share it with all you beautiful female business owners, because I want as many beautiful business owners out there to share their gifts with the world, right? Like, I love this, to see the success. And I'm always so inspired by, all the things that everyone does. It gets me really excited. So that's my passion. So if you ever see me and meet me and talk to me, I'm always just like asking all the questions about your business. And my mind starts going crazy about, oh, and then you should do this, and then you could do this, and then you could do this. So this is the space that I had to be in order to fuel my passion about business owners, and helping share everyone's gifts with the world. So when we really reflect on what we did last year, we can now build a plan for the future. And that next step is, now we want to break it into like a 90-day success plan. So that's the other piece that we now work on after we've built our plan for the year, is then we break it down into a 90-day success plan. And part of when we're building our plan for our future year is that we want to really look at what our own personal and business purpose is for our business. I walk my clients through building a personal mission statement, as well as identifying what our whys are for our business. Because I feel really strongly, from experience, being a business owner is not always easy. There are some days where it's a little challenging. And when I am very super clear and I know what my purpose is and my mission personally, as well as for my business, and what why my whys are, it helps me to move that mountain. It helps me to get up and share what I need to share with my clients on the days where it's challenging. So that's such a really strong piece that we have to look back on. So when we're creating our 90-day action plan, our success plan, then now we have transferred this purpose and why to this. It's a document that we create. And now we're going to talk about how we want to feel after this next 90 days. What are we going to actually see? What is our vision going to be after this 90 days is done? And we break down our bigger goals, and we put specific action into place for that 90-day plan. So I love pulling these together. And this is something that I do every 90 days in my own business. And it is also something that I look at once a week. And that brings me to my next beautiful tool, which is the CEO meeting. So we're all CEOs of our business. And I want everyone to take ownership of that and know that this is my business and I'm going to run it like a business. And my vision is there, and I want to see that success. And so I have a meeting with myself every Monday morning, sometimes Sunday, sometimes Monday afternoon, because guess what? I'm my own boss. However, every week it's how myself and my clients step into the week to know where we're going. What are the specific tasks that I need to get done? I'm now taking my 90-day success plan and breaking it down even further, right? What are the things that are going to get me to my goal? So, um, and again, it involves reflection, because I think one of the most important things, and research also shows us, right? Like when we reflect and we acknowledge our wins and how far we've come, it again is going to help us to climb that mountain, right? Because it's really super easy to focus on the things that we didn't do. So it's part of that plan that we are going to now recognize what we did do. Let's celebrate that. And now we can walk into our week and we can start planning for it. And get ready to, take on the daily 7 habits of business success, which is the final part of our journey. So, and these are the things that we want to do every single day to show up and be successful in our business. And when we have that main framework, all of these habits become that. They become habits because we've got the clarity, because we've worked on our mindset. We have our vision, we have our support system, and we have a specific strategy of what we know we're going to do every day. These habits, now we know we can sit down at our computer today, and we know exactly what tasks what needs to be handled, and what needs to be taken care of, so that we can again be shooting for our goals. So now, for my list of daily 7 habits of business success, we start with what I know you all do, is our morning practice. Whatever that looks like for you, um, is how we need to start our days, right? Now I'm going to have to tell you that you're going to have to stop your morning practice at some point and not let it go on all morning. It is a common thing. Because I mean, isn't that the best part? When I have coaching calls, and I'm like, okay, how are things going? Well, I'm really great at my morning practice. I'm like, I know you are, because it's the funnest part. So, so
That's
we
funny.
have to set a timer or have a stop time,
Mhm.
because the next thing we want to do is we want to show up, right? So, and this is also a great thing, because now we're showing up for our clients. This is now we've on Mondays or Sundays or whatever day you start your week, we've done
Mhm.
our CEO meeting. We know what we're going to be doing, so we have an agenda to stay on,
Mhm.
and now we can plan for our week, and this is something that we can do every single day. So step 2 is showing up, right? You can do that. I know it.
Mhm.
So now the next step is to create value. So this is where you really need your clarity, right? Because when you have your clarity, you know exactly what it is your client needs from you, and you can show up and provide that value to all of your clients that need your gift, right? So how am I showing up and creating value? The next step is to be in service. And this to me is just, how do I make my people feel? How do the people in my life, in my business, how am I touching their lives? How am I being helpful? And being helpfulness is one of my core values. And so being in service is, the most fun, right? Like, how can I show up and how can I make you feel fantastic? And that is so important. Whatever your client needs from you, right? Like to be held, to have a space, to be heard, to be seen, to be felt, all of those things. How am I showing up in service? The next thing is to get visible. Where are you showing up as an expert? This and here's the selling part, everybody. This is where we get to share what we're doing. And remember, when you are sharing what you're passionate about and what you love, it's not like selling at all. But the most important thing is to get out there and do it, right? So this step of getting visible, being an expert, being on podcasts, writing, blogging, face-to-face networking, like, where are you doing all those things to show up? It's where I want to see you, right? So get visible is the next step. And then next is connecting. Now, connecting is, how am I connecting with my people or other people that may need to refer me that business, right? Like, am I writing notes? Am I making calls? Am I doing voice messages? Am I doing video? Like how am I connecting with people? And then on top of that, I want you to be asking questions and listening and learning about the people in your world, so that then again you can go back to number 3 and number 4 and create value and be in service. So when we're connecting and we're learning about the people in our life that need our services, we can show up better in value and in service. So that connection piece is super important. And then lastly, when we combine 1 through 6, we're creating raving fans. And that's just a rinse and repeat, right? Then we just get to do it all over again. We start with our morning practice, because when we show up and we're at our best, then everyone else gets the best of us. And we can show up, create value, be in service, get visible, connect, and then you have a beautiful day ahead of you, and then the next day, and then the next day. So
I love these.
Me in a nutshell. This is what I coach my clients. This is what I practice in my world and my businesses. And I love being able to give this to female business owners, because running a business is no joke.
Yeah.
It's
It
hard.
helps to have these masculine structures. And what I love about what you've just shared with us, the 7 steps to success, is they are tangible, they are practical, but then there is this philosophy that you can see that's like really running behind the scenes, behind all these 7 steps, how they relate, what's the purpose, what's the reasoning for having these different things in place.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I really took away from this. I would love, because I have seen a lot of people hopping on, watching live, giving likes. If you have any questions for Denise, go ahead and drop them in the comments so that she can answer them. If you don't drop them right now, she's in this group, so you can find her, you can reach out to her. I've tagged her in this training. You can, she can follow up on the questions. So if you have something that comes through and you're like, what did you really mean about number 4 service? Or what do you really mean about being visible, and how much should I be visible, and how can I be visible? So I feel like, each one of these obviously is a much bigger topic that we could go really, really in depth with, and that people could
Yeah.
learn about really in depth with you. I also want to thank Denise for this special gift for our group right before the holidays. I feel
Anytime.
like it's such a pleasure to have other experts in the group, and just to learn ways that we can show up even more in our business and create even more abundant success. Because as you said, it's like entrepreneurship, it's so much fun, right? But then it can feel like a very solo journey sometimes. It can feel very lonely. It can feel like we need that accountability, which I know is something that you really specialize in, that productivity. We can have those questions like, what should we do next that is actually going to, have the biggest impact in our business? Which
Yeah.
thing is going to make the biggest shift, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So I think we've touched on a lot of those things today. I'd also, if you already know that you're going to be in Ascend with me, so some people in this group already know that they're going to be in Ascend with me, which is the mastermind in the spring. I want to share that, or it's actually in January, not spring quite yet, but it's like that quarter, like our first quarter. I want
Yeah.
to announce that Denise will be like a special guest inside the mastermind, and she will be giving like a full training. But in the
Mhm.
meantime, I want to encourage you to reach out to her, to find out the answers to any questions that might have come up during this training. And I will be
Absolutely.
sharing this live session to the YouTube channel as well. So if you're out there on YouTube and you're watching, you can reach out to me in the comments, and we'll put a contact for Denise in the comments as well.
Yeah.
So thanks so much for hopping on live here today, Denise. I'm going to go
Absolutely.
ahead
Happy
and
to.
I guess we're going to hop off if there's nothing else. And I just want to let all of these different daily habits simmer and really think about what you've shared with us today. And I'll see you again soon in the group. Is there anything that you'd like to add?
Well, I do want to invite anyone. I mean, you can find me and DM me. And also I have a special on my one-on-one coaching now if anyone's interested in like doing that business planning and getting that done ready for
Okay.
the new year. There's still time. Of course, there's still time.
I know it's actually like I feel like it's a really good time right now to commit to the energy that you want to bring to 2024.
Yes,
So,
absolutely. So
yeah.
yeah, and I have a group too where I do trainings specifically on all of these topics. So
Okay,
yeah,
amazing.
I can share that.
Will you share that in the comments, Denise? Will you share that group so that people can find you?
Yes. Let's see. Facebook groups.
Amazing. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I will see
I'm going in
you.
the wrong place. I'm typing it in the wrong
Oh,
place.
that's okay.
Sorry, everybody.
No worries. That's okay. Don't worry. Thanks so much for watching the 7 Daily Habits for
Yes,
Business Success. And thanks, Denise, for coming on live with us. See you soon.
absolutely. Happy to be here.